we're going on a walk. And I just want to info dump because that's what I do for fun. I'm a dietitian and I have so much information in my head. I just feel like I just need to get it out sometimes. So I want to talk about heart rate and resting heart rate, maximum heart rate, target heart rate range. This is for people that want to start working out, or if you bought an Apple Watch or a Fitbit or an Oura Ring and you don't really know where to start and you're like, what does this mean? I started exercising and I freaked myself out because my beats per minute went up so much and all I did was walk to the trash can and back. So when we are calculating heart rate, we have what's called a resting heart rate. And resting heart rate is how many beats per minute your heart beats at rest. So that can be when you wake up in the morning or if you've been sitting for a while. And how can you calculate that? Well, you can check your pulse on your wrist, but you can also check your pulse on your neck. And that's where I prefer to check it. And what you can do is you can set your timer for 15 seconds. 2 fingers right here. And you want to count how many beats there are within that 15 seconds, and then you can times it by 4. If you want to do the whole 60 seconds, be my guest. So that's your heart rate. And when we are checking our maximum heart rate just means this is how much our heart can beat at its maximum rate safely without us basically going into cardiac arrest or croaking. So I shouldn't have to say this, but if you have hypertension, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, please clear it with your doctor. Don't listen to anyone, even if they are a health professional like myself, on the internet. If you have any kind of comorbidities, that's just not safe. This is just general information, not giving medical advice. Anyway, so with your maximum heart rate, let's calculate it. You take 220, subtract your age. Again, this is approximate. This is not exact. I just said age, right? So I could be talking to someone else that is 30 that hasn't moved in 10 years, and I can talk to someone else that is 30 that exercises every day. Their maximum is going to vary, but this is just a generalized equation, okay? 220 minus your age, that's your maximum heart rate, approximate. So you're for 30 years old, that's 190. Now, what about fat burning? What about when do carbohydrates come in play? So with that, we have your maximum heart rate. So now you know what that is. And if you go over that, it's not going to technically kill you. If you're young and fit and genetically predisposed to having a fantastic cardio output, okay. And even athletes will go over their maximum heart rate for brief periods of time in high intensity interval training, sprinting, etc. We have a target range, okay? So the target range is when you are exercising, you want to, depending on if you're going aerobic or anaerobic, if you're wanting to burn fat, if you're wanting to work on your body composition, if you want to burn carbs, this is going to be where that lies and where it can be very helpful. So when you have your target range, you take your maximum heart rate, so let's say 190. And if you're looking more towards fat burning, you want to do 50 to 65% of your maximum heart rate. Why? I thought if we kicked our ass in the gym that we burn more fat. No, that's not how it works. So when you are taking 50% to 65% of your maximum heart rate, that is the preferred fuel source for fat burning, okay? So times 190, or your maximum heart rate, times 0.5 or 50%, and that is your 50% target range. So that's where you want to start. And that's where fat burning mode is. Again, this is going to vary, but these are just generalized equations. Then times your maximum heart rate times 0.65 or 65%. So that is your range for fat burning mode. If you're wanting to work on body composition or carbohydrates, glucose burning, that's going to be more high intensity because glucose is the preferred fuel source in that state. Now, of course, if you're trying to lose weight, we do want to have those high intensity trainings in there, but at the same time, we're also looking at caloric deficit accompanied by that as well. So you want to get best of both worlds, and you usually do when you're exercising, but if you just think doing high intensity interval training every single day and doing nothing else is going to help you burn the most fat, that's not technically true. So when you're looking into high intensity, you're going to have around 75% of that maximum heart rate to 85% of your maximum heart rate. And that's where we go into the anaerobic or the glucose burning. Now, that could also increase your lactic acid. So that's a whole nother story. But 75%, so times your maximum heart rate times 0.75, or 75%, and maximum heart rate times 0.85 or 85%. And so when you're 50 to 85%, that is your target range while you're exercising. So 30 minutes of the exercise can be 50 to 65% of that range, and then the other half can be 75 to 85% of that range, and that's why it's a range. Again, these numbers are going to vary, but I think that it's not talked about, and we don't really know what we're doing or how to tap into fat burning or how to tap into getting those blood sugars down quickly. So that's just one more thing that I know that I don't get to share enough. And if you enjoyed it, I love that for you so much. If you stuck around 7 minutes to listen to me talk about heart rate, love that for you, because I think it's important and I think it's beneficial. So to recap, we have resting heart rate, we have maximum heart rate, we have our target heart rate range. So depending on that range and the percentage, that's going to be what intensity you are having in your exercises, and if you're in an aerobic state or anaerobic state. And let's just throw some guidelines out there. So for your guidelines, for a minimum is 150 minutes per week of exercise, and we'd like for 75 minutes of that week to be more vigorous. And so for sweet girl, so that's where you want to start. 20 minutes a day, 20 to 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week. Start where you're at, meet yourself where you're at, and do something that you like. If you jump into the gym and you fucking hate the gym, guess what? It's not going to last. You're not going to keep up with it, and you're going to feel worse because you didn't do something that you didn't like, which you shouldn't feel bad for that. Find something that you enjoy. Swimming, hiking, walking. I have started enjoying squats, push-ups, elliptical, and jumping on my rebounder, and that's what I wanted to do. And I also enjoy walking with my dogs. So I will walk my dogs, which is not as leisurely like this, but I also go on walks with them, or this guy. Hey, bub. But find what you like to do. The guidelines for weight loss is 300 minutes a week. So we want to have that range of 150 to 300 minutes per week. And it's encouraged that 75 minutes per week is that vigorous, intense exercise. So there you go.